Your hometown station real estate and financial guides are back on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS, to share with you what you need to know in order to navigate the sometimes confusing markets and guide you toward financial wellness. Reach out to them for advice at 855-DON-GINO. And now back to your hosts, Don Getling and Gino Franti.
You are back with Don Getling, Gino Franti in the vault. That's right, our new private custom studios right here at Cherry Creek Mortgage. And we call it the vault because if you missed earlier in the show, we were explaining that Cherry Creek Mortgage is right on Turney Road where Bank of Santa Cruz used to be, and our studios is actually where their vault used to be. So that's why it's nice and quiet, and we've been building this out for over a year now. We're very excited to have our inaugural show here, and you're joining us in our first show in the vault. Pretty cool, huh?
And it's been a great show, and we're going over really important stuff with Myles, McNamara, let me see if I can get it right, Comfort Keepers, in-home care.
This is the first.
Yeah, now the name hacking.
Yeah. He doesn't usually do the intros. He says, you're a name hacker. That's because you never intro anyone. So it's, of course, going to be me.
Well, but you know what? I'm trying to take some of that away from you now that we're in the vault, so not to make you work so hard.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Well, we've been making Myles work really hard because he's had to carry the show today. It's very, very good stuff. And he's a real pro. Myles, if you don't know, has an incredible show called Aging with Power. And he's talking about something that all of us are having to deal with more and more and more. Guarantee if it's not you, it's a family member, it's a friend, it's a coworker dealing with our aging parents. It's just the way it is. And we're hitting, I love your statement on this, the aging tsunami, was it? That's a great word.
Right.
I never even thought about that, but it's true. It is a fact, and we need to look it straight in the eye and know what to do about it instead of just trying to stick our head in the sand and hope it goes away. It isn't. It's something that one way or another, like I said, even if it's not us, it's going to be somebody we know, and it's good that we have people like you and your team at Comfort Keepers, because you guys have been around since 2001.
Mm-hmm.
And why did you jump into this? Because you're super passionate about it. You're heavily involved in our community, which I love. You support our seniors, and it's just great having you on our team out here in Santa Cruz.
Well, it was a need that I recognized over a decade ago, and I'd recently moved to Santa Clarita and was coming out of the entertainment industry and wanted to make a change in my life and start my own business. And I just happened to have an uncle that was in the home care business, and I, like the rest of the world, had no idea what home care was. So I did my investigation into it, and what a great way to make a living and help people at the same time. And you asked me why Comfort Keepers, and I think being rooted into the community is important on a lot of different levels, not only giving back, but when you're asking me to put someone in the home by themselves with your mom or dad, you'd probably want to know a little bit about us. You want to know about our roots.
I'm all about accountability in this town.
You have home care companies popping up left and right like weeds.
I can't tell you. I saw the other day I was coming off, and I'm kind of sensitive to this right now, so I'm coming off the freeway, and there's a sign,
I saw that.
Did you see
Caregiver.
that?
I'm not even going to say the name of their website. Yeah, it was a piece of paper on the fence.
Yeah, I trust that.
But and you know what's so scary? They're getting calls. I'm sure. And the fact of the matter is.
Well, that's why we have you on today. We're hoping to educate you about your options because it's imperative because you make the wrong decision in anything in life. That's why our slogan is guiding you to personal and financial wellness. The two go together, and that's why we're glad you've joined us today because this is important stuff. Gino having to deal with it with his grandmother just recently. A lot of you out there having to deal with it. It's important to reach out. Myles, how can they get a hold of you? I want to make sure they know how to get a hold of you to ask these important questions because I'd love them to ask them ahead of time. If they're trying to be, like you said, proactive, it'd be nice for them to talk to you ahead of time and know what options are out there for them.
Easy to remember, seniorcaresantaclarita.com. Of course, you can go to comfortkeepers.com. That's our national website, but my local website of seniorcaresantaclarita.com. We're right on Lyons Avenue. I invite people, a lot of times when people call you nailed it on the head. It's accountability. Mm-hmm. So when people call our office, inquiring about services, we invite them down to the office. Hey, why don't you come on down? Because we have a skills lab. We'd like to show you where we train our caregivers. The skills lab is also open, free to the community. You don't have to be on service with us. But again, we talked earlier about the family caregiver being thrust into that position.
Right.
Well, do you know how to use a mechanical lift? Do you know how to teach your mom to walk up the stairs after a stroke? Do you know how to do an occupied bed change on a hospital bed? No, you're just told by the doctor, Mom's coming home, take care of her. So we invite
Gino,
the
it
community.
took you guys a week to figure out how to get Grandma out of bed, didn't it?
I mean,
just about. I mean, you guys were really having to deal with that.
Matter. That's
Gino was the only one big enough to figure it out at first.
Well, we're big enough, but if you move Grandma the wrong way, you're going to hurt her.
Right.
Yeah.
So again, I want to say that again. We have a skills lab where we train our comfort keepers that's open to the community, free of charge. You call, you set an appointment with one of my care managers, and they will walk you through anything you need to know that's involved in caring for your loved one at home.
That's great. See, that's giving back right there.
Yeah,
because,
no
you
doubt
don't
about
have to do that because you're running a private company that runs a service, but you're still helping the community by saying, we recognize you. If you can't hire us, we still want you to be able to take care of your.
And now that you let me toot my horn a little bit, let me add this: is what people again not knowing what people don't know. How much time do I have here? I'm going to start talking fast. Is we do a free safety inspection. So if you just want us to come out and look at your parents' home to see, throw rugs. The devil to see.
You think?
The throw
They're
rugs.
bad for me.
Yeah, I know. But do they need grab bars?
I don't know, Don. You know what you just said right there, right?
Anyways, go ahead, Myles. And if you just tuned in, we're here talking with Myles McNamara with Comfort Keepers in-home care.
I'm trying my best to talk here, Don.
But I want to know who they're talking to because they might have just tuned in, and I don't want them missing this. This is important 4 minutes left.
And again, it is giving back. I mean, we'll do the free safety inspection whether you're on service with us or not. We've just collaborated with the fire department with what we're putting together is what we call an emergency one sheet. It's when our parents are getting older, unfortunately, it's not going to be a matter of if, but when you're going to have to call 911, unfortunately. Are you ready? Do you have we've devised, with the help of the fire department, an emergency one sheet, which the Comfort Keeper is also giving out. We do it to all of our clients, but we offer it as well, an emergency ready bag. So when 911's called, all you have to worry about is getting Mom ready to go, and you grab that bag, and it has the one sheet in it that has all their doctors, all the medications, anything that the paramedics need to know. And once they get to the hospital, they're going to want to know what medications that your loved one's on, so they don't want any of that interaction. What's else in the bag? Toothpaste, an extra set of slip, whatever they want to take. So you really have to be ready. We're big into disaster preparedness. I mean, when the big earthquake hits, you have a lot of seniors out there who aren't going to be able to last by themselves. So you've got to be proactive, you've got to think ahead, and you've got to be prepared.
Okay, the pun intended, but there's a lot of comfort in being prepared.
Absolutely.
And it's good that you guys help with that, because these are a lot of the things we don't even think about.
Do you have an emergency ready bag in your car?
Not in my car.
Nope.
Everyone should have one in their car. You might be stranded out there somewhere.
Yeah, I was hoping he's going to say, do you have it at your home? I go, yes! I'm all prepared. I got the big heavy thing that things can fall on it and water.
When you're in your car, ladies need to have a pair of tennis shoes in their cars, because if they have to walk 3 miles over, collapsed overpasses, do they want to do it in their pumps?
No, there's some ladies out here who would.
Reebok pumps.
Okay.
Touche. Now you're dating yourself.
That's what we try to share with our clients and our seniors, and we do some in-services around town, is be prepared.
Okay. And our guest coming up, Tracy Hauser, which you're going to really enjoy when she comes up, because she's another accountable professional in town, brought up is by hiring you guys, it helps you get to stay the child. You get to keep that relationship.
Tracy hit it right on the head. Let us take over the role of being the caregiver. You go back to being the son or daughter.
Yeah, because I mean that's tough. You're trying to get there's got to be an animosity. It's a difficulty. They don't want to listen. You don't want to listen. I mean, that's challenging.
If you're going to go visit Mom or Dad, do you want to spend the hour and a half you have with them or less, going to the store, cleaning up the house, doing their mail, or do you want to come over and spend quality time with them?
It's night and day what kind of what quality is.
Right.
I mean, that is quality. So we really appreciate you being on the show and giving us a better rundown of what in-home care is and how important it is, the ins and outs, the things to be careful of. There's a lot of agencies you'll see out there. There's ways to cut costs, but is that at a detriment to your family members, to your loved ones?
It's the same. We talked about off air about circle of life. It's parenting your parents. Would you put an absolute stranger that you have absolutely no references or accountability with your 18-month-old child? And unfortunately, as our seniors get older, they come back on that other side of the circle of life, and they're cognitively impaired, and they need that helping hand, and they're vulnerable as can be. Who are you going to put with them?
Great stuff from Myles McNamara with Comfort Keepers in-home care. You can listen to Myles every Tuesday at 11 a.m., Aging with Power. It's great having a real professional, somebody who really cares for our aging community. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Well, hopefully you stay tuned because we have another great show coming up in our Real Estate Hour. That's right, our inaugural Real Estate Hour right here in the vault with Tracy Hauser and Carolyn. Woo, we're excited. Thank you, Joe, for that. And we can't wait to come back. Don't go away. The Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show. We'll be right back.